Have you ever been online looking for custom Lego models when you've come across one of these builds? Well, I sure have. Of course, that leads me to the day. Here I am with the creator of some of these builds, intim305. Yeah, top Thrill Dragster. Hard to know where to start with these, so whoop. Yeah. So, what prompted you to build the original dragster model?
That was actually one of the first ones I did. Well, the first one I did was the Loch Ness Monster, but I mean, Dragster's one of my favorites, so.
It's my favorite,
you know,
coaster too, so definitely a connection there.
To a legend.
Yeah. I'm excited to see what they're going to do to it, but...
Same, but
yeah.
Also skeptical.
Yeah. I don't want a backward spike, but we get what we get.
I would not be super opposed to that.
I mean, if they're going to do a backward spike, they better take the height record with it.
Exactly. That's definitely how I feel too.
Yeah. So yeah, going back to your original dragster model, how long did it take to build the first one?
Oh, I don't remember, honestly. Definitely like a couple days. It wasn't a super long time by any means, but you know.
Yeah.
For being one of my first ones, I was trying out like the weird angles, trying to get smooth curves.
Yeah, different techniques in there with the snot and all that.
I think it was my second one, and the first one was Loch Ness Monster, and that is a very basic, straightforward, just block build, right?
Arrow. Yeah, definitely looks like that. But you pulled it off well, so.
Thank you, that was the goal.
Yeah. So I often have a hard time finding where to start on my models, so I was wondering where do you begin on yours?
You know, it generally varies from model to model, I would say. Usually when I'm thinking about the model, at least, I'll come up with some kind of idea on how to do something. Like, there's some specific piece that's just calling to me. Like on the Steel Vengeance one, for example, I wanted to use the 1x1 cone pieces as the wheel axles, just because the other people I've seen who did the steering axle ones didn't do that, and it pissed me off because it was exactly the right piece for that.
Yeah.
So I wanted to make sure that it used that, so I started there.
Yeah. Well,
aside from that, I would generally, the scale of them, I usually decide by how big the seat is. So if I'm not starting with a specific piece, I'll start with the seat just to make sure that the seat's the right size, so everything else gets built around it.
Yeah.
Usually try to stick to 3 wide.
That's generally how I work too. Depending on the model, like my Vertigo model, which actually took inspiration from, I think, your Loch Ness Monster track, because, you know, Vekoma and Arrow track is very, very similar.
Basically the same thing.
I just made it double spined. With models that reuse some of the same elements, I try and use the track as a base, because I really don't want to redesign a track around a different train, because it just makes it a little bit harder, you know?
Yeah, that's fair. I don't always do the track in mind, just because the track can be a very non-essential and add a lot of costs to the final thing. Just your pieces.
Yeah, you're building...
I'll usually start with the train.
Yeah, you're building...
The track,
the model's based around the train, not the track, you know?
Yes, very much so.
The track is not the reason you're buying the model, that's for sure.
Exactly. So the track is a secondary thing.
Yep. Yeah, so what was your favorite part about this new train we've designed?
Spoiler.
Yeah.
I wanted to be a spoiler for a long time.
Like even though you built the spoiler portion, that has to be my favorite part too, including the wheels though, since I was able to figure out how to make those wheels bigger without using a larger rim piece.
I don't think I actually have a version of the model.
Oh, I'll have to send it to you then.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. And then shout out to the person who verified that on Reddit, so we could have that ease of mind. Yeah, definitely show a picture of that. So,
I'm going to insert username here.
Oh yeah, for sure. I'll have to find it. But we built the final, like, 4 cars of the train in less than a day, from what I can remember. And I looked back at our Discord chat and it said 1:58 was our first message, and then at 11:04 was when I fixed the tires. Like,
yeah, that sounds about right. That went pretty fast.
Yeah, I mean, it did help that you already.
For the most part, pretty identical at least.
Yeah, I mean, it did help that you kind of had some of the trailing cars kind of built, and then we had to scale them down just a tiny bit.
I did, yeah. I started doing one before and wasn't really happy with it. Didn't want to focus on that, so I didn't.
Yeah. So 2,958 parts, entirely used in the complete model. Apparently. What'd you say?
Is that really what it came to?
Yeah.
2958.
Yep, including the.
Actually, wait. My version has 2958. It doesn't have big wheels, so it must be 2960.
I guess we'll update that. 2960. That's gonna be interesting. But so yeah, 2960.
It's not bad.
Yeah. Obviously, the part for piece ratio, or price for piece ratio, is not great, but
yeah. You know, it never is with Studio now.
Yeah.
That's not horrendous still.
No, not bad. You said it was around like 200 for the entire set, you said?
Yeah, if you add that in. When I was actually looking at Bricklink usually, with the smaller models at least, you get the price estimate in Studio, and then you plug it into Bricklink, and the price estimate is lower, but then the shipping adds up to basically what you started at.
Yeah.
I don't think that happens as much with the bigger models, because the shipping is, you know, it's still just a couple. That's a pretty much a flat thing.
Yeah.
So I think when you get that in there, that actually comes out to be a pretty decent part ratio.
I mean, yeah, looking back on it, looks pretty good.
2958 for.
Nah, 2960.
If that was 250, that's. Yeah, 2960 for 250 would be reasonable. That's not a terrible ratio at all, actually.
Yeah. I mean, I would buy it.
Yeah.
which begs the question, are we ever going to make instructions for it? Because I know you have instructions for the front car. Like, you could almost do like an add-on.
Yeah, no, I did do that. Like, when I made the front car, I added on I always put the hitch on the back of mine, just in case I decide to do full translator.
Yeah.
So it's always an option, but I don't have any plans to at the moment, at least.
I mean, I could always create those instructions and then send them over for you to put up. Not too hard to do so.
Yeah, we did change the front part just a little bit for this model, though.
Yeah, I changed like the bottom gray portion to where instead of one tile, it's 2 tiles, and then I had to add a 1x1 like quarter circle tile to make sure. I don't.
Oh, I see what you're talking about. Yeah, and then we also did the what are they called? I think they call them cow pieces.
Really?
For those like the 1x1 like half circle tiles.
Oh yeah. That's right.
I don't remember what they're called, but those weren't on the original too.
Where did we use those? Because I'm not looking at a picture right now.
Oh, on the side of the red accent line.
Oh yeah, those. Yeah, those. Round, that was my idea with the. I think it just made it look a little bit better.
It does.
Yeah.
I'd originally not done it so I could use like a single piece and save all the cost, but
Yeah, and I was hoping that Lego made the 1x4 version of it in red, but unfortunately they don't, which would have saved a lot more money instead of just buying.
yeah, I never do.
Which is the problem when building models like this. You always got to be wary of what colors come in what parts, you know. Yeah, so we have a lot to look forward to on the channel now, and hopefully another project's going to be launching around 80 miles an hour soon, if we finish it.
I'm around there.
Yeah, it should be a fun build. We have to finish the layout though, so.
Yeah.
And last night I got a little bit more motivation to finish the largest project that we're working on right now, the layout of it. I think I figured out a good technique to bending the bars.
Okay.
Which makes
Cool,
it goes
cool.
a lot quicker, and so I'll probably need your help with the landscaping, but that's about it.
Yeah, I can finish that out.
Yeah.
Or I can figure that out. I know that ride like the back of my hand.
Mm-hmm. Nice that we're giving the viewers a little teaser here of what's to come.
You'll see.
Yeah. So yeah, that basically wraps it up. Thank you for joining the call. Hope to do this again soon at some point.
We already got things in the works, so
yeah, for sure.
Shouldn't be that long.
Yeah, so thank you once again. See you next time, I guess.
Yeah, see you next time.
Alrighty.